Hello everyone, this is Dr.R.Thulasiram, Associate Professor, Department of Social Sciences, Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai. So today we are here to discuss about the topic motivation. So this is one of the fundamental qualitative topic that is coming under the course Rural Sociology and Educational Psychology. So this particular course comes for the first year students of BSc Agriculture, and this has two parts. That is, the first part of this course is Rural Sociology, that deals with the study of society and human beings, their culture and other functions. And the second part of this course is Educational Psychology, that deals with the study of psychology of the human beings, right? That is the study of human beings and their nature. So when we study about the human beings, we study about normal public, and farmers also coming under that group of category. So we need to, when we try to study about the characteristic features of human beings, we will study about the term called motivation. So in this class, we will deal deep about this topic. Let us move on to the topic. So first of all, we will discuss the definition of motivation. It is the process of initiating a conscious and purposeful action. So first of all, we should understand that motivation is given by some others to us. So the third person will motivate us towards a particular goal, and it is highly conscious. That is, the purpose is to achieve our goal. So they will motivate us. We can get motivation from something or someone to achieve our final goal. So that is why it is called as a conscious and purposeful action. That is, we will be forced to do certain things to achieve our ultimate goal. That force may be an order. Sometimes it is just an information, because our friends will definitely give us advice, and that we can call as motivation. Whereas the things that is followed by our teachers, that can be called as instruction. So both this advice, just informing, and also this instruction through our staff members, both the things are called as motivation. But the way it comes to us, it differs. And motivation means an urge or combination of urge to include conscious or any purposeful action, and it is highly goal directed. That is, we'll be getting motivation to achieve our final goal. Then we will see some extra explanations about this particular term. It is goal directed, as I said, and it is a need satisfying behavior. Okay, because we all have a need to get, we all have a need to achieve. So how can we achieve that? In between, through the course of time, through the process of achieving that objective, we need to get motivation, right? We need to get motivated by others. And motive means an urge or combination of urge to induce conscious or purposeful action, as I said earlier. So it arising out of natural urges or acquired interest or dynamic forces that affects thought, emotions, and behavior. So there are 3 points to be considered here in this third point of this slide. So it may be an urge, that is an order. Someone can put pressure on us to do something. And sometimes it may be an acquired interest. That means you may get an interest to achieve something in your life, for which you can get motivations, right? Or because of these things, accordingly, your thought, emotions, and behavior will have a change, right? So example, motive for a murder, right? If you want to commit a murder, you need to have a motive for that. So why you do that? Okay, so when you want to prepare for an examination, you have a motive. Why you want to prepare that examination? Because I just want to clear this exam to get that posting, right? So it may be a government posting or private posting. So that is the motive because of which we need motivation, right? So one of the important things that I consider as important to study about motivation is we should compare this word motivation with inspiration, because often people confuses between these two words, that is motivation and inspiration. So in short, I can tell you motivation is something given by some other person to you forcefully, right, to achieve your goal. But whereas inspiration is on your own thought, okay, on your own effort, you want to take some inspiration out of others, right? There may be a good speaker. He will be speaking to a large audience and you will not be one among the audience, but still when you listen to that video lecture, you will get inspiration. Okay, so that is called as inspiration. You yourself will get something from others. That others may be a person, that may be a situation, that may be a movie, that may be a cinema, so that may be a short film, music, whatever it is, right? So you will get inspiration automatically. But when some other person forcefully gives that to you to achieve your goal, that is called as motivation. So motivation is about moving people to take action, if not immediately, at least then in the very near future, right? So someone will motivate us. Whereas inspiration is about moving people to feel and think differently about themselves, right? So I would have felt bored, I would have felt depressed at present, okay, after watching a movie, after watching someone's speech on the podium, right, in some of the election campaigns also. So after watching such emotional speeches, such inspirational speeches, I can get inspired by them and I can change my core character, attitude, emotions, etc. So what they are capable of becoming and doing, there will be a change. So it engages people's imagination, values, aspirations, and dreams. That is, my dream may be to become something, right? But after listening to a movie, my dream there may be a change in my dream and attitude. After listening to someone's speech, I can get inspiration from them and I can change my dream for the future. So this is the core difference between motivation and inspiration. Right. So which one defines you? Whether you are getting motivated by someone, or you are getting inspiration from others. Right. So a paycheck which is being given by your manager or office workers, your higher officials, that will motivate you to do work in your field, whatever it is. Right? You may be a teacher, you may be a farmer, farm laborer, whatever it is. Right. And the vanity, tyrant, prestige, envy. You may have a wish. You may have a wish to get something. You may have a wish to eat something, right? You may have a wish to prepare for an examination. So for which you will get motivated by others. If it is a family, it will be a pressure, right? If it is a friend, it may be an advice, right? So accordingly, you can take any of these things, right? Whereas in inspiration, right? So there will be a person who will not be engaging yourself for a lecture or something. You will never listen to the lecture forcefully, but automatically you will get inspired by them. So music is there. It is a common thing. It is not only for you, but sometimes this music may inspire you. The music is a common thing that is available anywhere, right? So when you listen to a music, you may get inspiration, right? So there may be a true friend, okay? So he may talk with you. He will not deliberately try to give you any advice, but when you talk with that friend, you may get inspiration. Because of that, you may change your attitude, style, future, dreams, etc. So these are the core differences between inspiration and motivation. Inspiration comes because of you, and motivation will be driven by some external force. Then we'll see about some of the functions of motivation, right? So basically, it encourages a learner in his learning activities. Example, some of the prizes, medals that they show that if you do this, you will get these medals. Okay, so that is the motivation that comes from outside. Okay, it is not the motivation that you get from your inside, inner feelings. This is the motivation which is available outside of your thought. So by seeing that, by keeping those motivations, that is prizes, medals, trophies in your mind, you will get motivated, and accordingly you will change your attitude and characters. And motives acts as selectors of the type of activity in which the person desires to engage, right? It may be what you select. Okay, if you want to become a leader, accordingly you will get motivated. You need motivations. If you want to become a terrorist, I'm not urging you to become a terrorist. This is just for an example, right? If you want to become a singer, you will get motivation accordingly, right? So motivation sometimes it depends on the selectors in which category that they select. And motives direct and regulate the behavior, right? So when your motive is to get a graduate degree, when you go to a school or college where you will be regulated, right? If there is regulation, there are regulations in that particular college or any educational institutions, accordingly your behavior will get regulated and changed. So examples, the disciplines that we get in schools, right? So now we'll see about the significance of this motivation. right? So it is concerned with the arousal of interest in learning, and it forms the basis for learning. Because why we need to learn as a student? Because there is a reason in the future for which you are learning these things now at present. So the teacher has to find the right type of stimuli, that is the force that urges them to go for learning in the individuals, that will produce satisfaction, in order that the interest of the learner shall be maintained long enough to master definite ideas or the subject matter concerned. Right. So far we have discussed about what is motivation. We also compared motivation with inspiration, in what are the ways in which these two things are different from others. Then we also discussed about the functions of motivation along with the important significance of motivation. So now we will talk about different types of motivation. There are 2-3 important types of motivation. We will see one by one. The first type of motivation is intrinsic motivation. The word itself explains that it is something that happens within us. It is not something we get from outside. The motivation that will be coming from us, right? So it is related to the job one is doing. And when a skilled operative performs a job well, he derives a sense of satisfaction, right? Say, for example, sometimes you may read a normal book novel, okay? So through novels, you are not going to get any extra marks in the examinations, but still you read it because of satisfaction. Some of the people, they cultivate roses in the garden and they sell it for profit. But there are some other people, they still they don't sell the roses, but just for a satisfaction, just as a hobby, they will be cultivating flowers in their garden. So here it is only because of the self-satisfaction. So how they are getting motivated to grow these flowers in his garden? The motivation is because of that is coming automatically inside his soul. Okay, so since the motivation that comes from himself, it is called as intrinsic motivation. So here nobody is giving any pressure from outside. Nobody is asking you to grow flowers. Nobody is telling like grow flowers, you will get motivated. No, nobody is telling that, right? So you are getting motivation to grow flowers because of you. Okay, nothing is coming outside. No pressure from outside for these kind of selections. So this is intrinsic motivation, which satisfies the creative instinct in man, right? So it is personally rewarding. You are getting rewards personally, and these things are happening not for an external reward, that is the rewards that is coming from outside area. So the second type of motivation is extrinsic motivation. So the behavior here is driven by external rewards such as money, fame, grades, and praise, right? So sometimes someone can praise you for your doings. Because of that, you will get motivated. Sometimes they may promise you to pay some money in the future for your doings. So because of that, you may get motivated and you can do the job correctly. So it may be a grade that you are given with, say for examples, students in college and schools, they are getting motivated and they get good marks because they know that they will be given with a particular personal grade in the future. So these are the external things that comes from outside that motivates a person to do a thing. So it is an external to the job or task. Example, financial incentives, that is money, the package, incentives, bonus that is being given for an employee by the manager or owner, right? So other external motivations are praise from the superior officer in your work time, right? And recognition of good performance by the company in the form of public citations and awards, admiration of fellow workers, and provision of improved working conditions of other facilities. So sometimes if you work hard for some 5 years in a company, you may be given with a quarters facility. Your children may be given with a free education. You may be given with medical services inside the office itself. Sometimes even you may be given with food to eat during lunchtime, okay, at free of cost. So these are some of the motivations that comes from outside that will guide you to go towards your goal. So since it is coming from outside area, it can be called as extrinsic motivation. Right. So now we have seen some of the types of motivation, but why do we need motivation? Right? As I said, to change our attitude, right? So attitude in the sense, it is not a wrong thing. There is a misconception about this word. People think attitude as a negative one. So attitude is just a general thing, but inside which you have some differences. Okay, there may be a good attitude, there may be a bad attitude. Okay, there may be some differences. Okay, so why do we need motivation? To change our attitude, to change our goals, okay, to get success in life, to get good idea about how to approach our life, etc. Right? Then based on, the next one is the performance. If you want to improve your performance, you can also go for getting motivations. You need motivation to improve your performance. And sometimes you may consider this motivation as a support for you. Okay, you may treat it as a support. Okay, you may think like these motivations can support me to achieve better in my life. And ultimately, as I told you, any motivation that will lead you towards your final goal, that is the destination, right? So because of these reasons, any human being need motivation, right? So the problem, why do we need motivation? I was telling you lots of points here, but there is one reason because of which people are in need of a motivation, that is need, right? So need, it forms all the problems of our society. So everything starts from this particular goal, because unless or otherwise human beings need something, okay, we don't engage ourselves in any job. If we don't engage ourselves in any of the jobs, absolutely we don't want any motivation from anyone, that is from outside. Okay, we need something, we need to buy something, that is why we need money. So to get money, we need to work hard. So here, this working hard, it depends on the money that you receive, that is motivation, right? So need is what one desires. I wish to get this and that, etc. It is lack of something because I don't have it. Okay, so because of which I want something. So if I want something, I have to do a work. For doing that work, I need to get motivation, either from me or from external forces. So need is a difference between what is and what ought to be, right? So there are lots of human needs that forces us to get motivated, right? Education, family, health, money, financially I need to be good. I need to have friends, parenting, to buy home, to travel across the world, to buy vehicles like car, bikes, sports bike, super bikes, etc. So there are some classification of these needs. Some of the needs are only for the security purpose of our life, and some of the needs are for affection. Like, no, you want some company in your life, right? You need some support in the form of human beings. And some of the needs, you may wish to get recognition in this society. No? I want to get some prestigious, I want to get into a prestigious institution as a worker. I want to attain a good status in my life. I want to achieve something in my life. All these things are coming under recognition. Okay. And the next need is, to get new experience, someone needs motivation, right? Because you want to experience something new in your life. That is why you travel. So if you want to travel, you need money, for which you need motivation. And some of the other basic needs that is categorized as organic needs, that is hunger, thirstiness, also very important for human beings. So because of all these needs, the above 5 categories of need, because of these, human beings need motivation, right? So he is Abraham Maslow. He is one of the social scientists. So he has proposed a theory in his paper in 1943, the paper called as a theory of human motivation in psychological review. So he extended the idea to include his observations of human innate curiosity. That is, what are the needs of a human being, right? So he has formulated this particular classification of needs in the hierarchy. That is, one need is the most important than the other needs. So he has proposed these needs in the form of hierarchy, in the form of triangle, right? So according to his field of study, he argued that humans are not motivated simply by hunger or thirst, but by higher goals. Some people may want to achieve a higher goal because of which they want motivations, right? A musician must take music, an artist must paint, a poet must write if he is to be ultimately at peace with himself, right? So that is the motivation that they derive from themselves, right? If I wish, like I want to do a music, I have to do it, irrespective of the external rewards that I'm going to receive. Okay, so he has done a research on this, and he has come up with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs in the year 1954, right? So according to this theory, he has categorized these needs of human beings based on hierarchy. That is, the ultimate thing will be at the bottom, ultimate need of a people will be at the bottom, and followed by the least important, then to the least important at the top. Okay, the ultimate need of a human being according to Abraham Maslow is the physiological needs, that is food, water, warmth, rest, etc. And the followed by which the safety needs, which is needed by the people, that is security and safety, protection, back lockers, okay, key that we use, right? So that is the first thing that we do daily when we come for work. And then belongingness. I want to purchase this. I want to have this. I want to keep this fellow with me. I want a companion. I want a relationship with this person, etc. So it may be purchasing, or it may be a physical need. It may be in want of someone in your life, or it may be a want of something in your life. The next one is esteem needs. So this will give prestige and feeling of accomplishing something in your life. Okay. And the last one is self-actualization. And this will show you the full potential of a particular person. That is achieving one's full potential, including creative activities, right? So if you have achieved self-actualization, that is, you have given your full potential and you have achieved what you wanted to achieve in a full way. So these are the classifications of need of human beings given by Abraham Maslow. So because of this need of a human being, we need motivation. Like that, some people for achieving physiological needs, they need motivation, right? So if the laborers are shown with wages, they will work. If the workers are shown with salary, they will work, right? If some other workers are shown with some profit, they will invest money in a business as a partnership. So there should be something externally that motivates us to do a particular work. So that motivation that can come from outside, that is called as external motivation, extrinsic. And that motivation can come because of you personally for self-satisfaction. Okay, that satisfaction that you get because of doing this work, that can also motivate you to do that work. That is called as internal motivation. Right. So this is just for a funny way. I just wanted to share this. So these needs of human beings, not only the needs, the rules and regulations that we follow in our life, that also will be getting updated every now and then. Okay. So likewise, the needs of human beings also, there may be an upgradation because years passes on, our need may vary. Okay. We would have achieved whatever we wanted to achieve. So once one of the need is achieved by any human being, he will again go for another. So that is why people tell, many of the economists also has a say on this, because they are told that needs are limitless. There is no limit for needs. Okay, so if one need completed, another need will come to any human being. If I want to have a bike, if I own a bike, then I will need a car. If I have a car, again I will go for a sports car, an upgraded car, technically upgraded car. So these are some of the things that will have a change due to the changes in time. Okay, when years passes on, the need that we want, that also changes. So apart from this basic human needs that we have discussed, that is 5 categories of basic human needs. Apart from that, now at present, people need Wi-Fi and battery because it is highly, it is a pandemic time. So because of these critical situation that exists in our planet, so people, they need to stay in their home to work. Okay, whatever may be the work, he may belong to the IT sector, he may be a teacher, he may be a student. So they need to settle down in their home by using Wi-Fi and battery, mobile phones through Android system or computers. They need to go for attending a class. So apart from these basic needs, just for a funny way, you can also consider this Wi-Fi and battery at this present situation. Right. So there are different levels of needs, as I told you. The first level is the basic human needs, that is of the most important. Okay, and second one is the security and stability that we want in our life, that is safety needs, benefits, etc. The third one is social needs, that is we need some belonging, we need some friendship, we need a companion, okay, to lead our life, right? So that is also needed And the fourth one is esteem needs. After achieving all the basic things in our life, we may want something to get our self-respect. We may want something to differentiate us from all the other normal people. That is called as special recognition from others. Okay, if I am just an employee of an institution, it doesn't matter. There is no difference between myself and others. If I get a special position as an university officer, or if someone is getting a manager post in any company, industries, factories, okay, if someone starts a company, their role, it is getting changed. Okay, so they will get different recognition from others. So that is called as self-esteem needs. That is on the fourth level. The last level is self-actualization need. That is what I said. It is self-fulfillment, right? So you will try to understand that you have given all of your effort, all of your potential has been utilized, and whatever achieved now, it is the maximum potential of you. Okay, so that is the fifth level, that is called as self-actualization need of a human being. So these are different levels of needs that is classified based on the importance. I mean, these needs are wanted by the human beings. So there are different techniques of motivation. So it may be a need-based, or else sometimes special training can be given. If I have a need, I can get motivation accordingly. Okay, so it may be physiological, organic, whatever it is. That is what we have seen so far. But sometimes it may be forced. There may be a force given by an external person in the form of training. I may be given with a training. I may be given with a counseling, right? So if I meet a farmer as an extensionist, I can create aspiration among farmers. If some of the farmers, they don't have a land now, I can motivate them to go for purchase of land. If someone has a particular yield of 30 tons per acre, I can motivate them to get more and more yield from the same piece of land. Okay, I can motivate them by showing some extra technical aspects. I can demonstrate some technical advices, okay, when I meet them in person. So these are some of the motivations that is because of training. Right? You can also engage your young students in agriculture, because we teach them everything theoretically, okay, through some lectures, and this theoretical part of lectures will get full satisfaction only by showing the same thing practically in the practical classes, right? So that is also motivation. So other technique is participation. Let them participate. No, if you conduct a farmers program, it is not like giving lectures to the farmers. You will ask them to participate in that program. And the last one is use of audio visuals. So whatever you tell people, you have to show them. Okay, in Tamil there is a saying that no, padam paarthu kadai sol. No, they will get full satisfaction only if they see what they hear. Right? If they see what they hear, they will get full satisfaction with respect to understanding. So you can use both audio and visual aids to tell or inform or instruct others. So why do we need motivation? To just to summarize, okay, to mobilize the villages and extension workers in agriculture is concerned, right? And the knowledge of biological needs helps the extension workers to realize the problems of the people. It helps in sympathetic handling. You can easily interact with them based on the sympathy that you got from them, right? The knowledge of psychological and social drives helps the extension workers to formulate programs and make effective approaches to change their attitude. If you know what they want psychologically, right, you can accordingly act. Accordingly, you can motivate them. And it also forces help avoiding conflicts or tensions among human beings. So first of all, these extension workers will be trained by the trainers, and the same can be incorporated by these extension workers to the students or farmers. So we will teach the farmers or students what we have been given with. The knowledge that we receive from other trainers, that will be disseminated from myself to other villagers, farmers or students. So to conclude, I mean, there are a different classification of needs. This only serves as one of the important things that decides whether we need motivation or not. Okay, to achieve these kind of needs, each and every human being needs motivation in their life. And to end this lecture on a good note, finally, it is inspiration and motivation. You can differentiate both the things, but both the things in some point of time Okay, it falls under the same category. It is all about the goal. Even you will get inspiration from a good speaker only if you have any wish to speak. Okay, but automatically it cannot come. If you have a good attitude, if you have a good wish to listen to a good speech, then only you will get inspiration from others. Okay, if you don't have a sensory organ working, if you cannot hear anything, of course you can never get inspirations, right? If your eyes are not working, of course you cannot get. Apart from all these things, physical organs, sensory organs, if you don't have interest, you cannot get inspiration from others, right? And when you, likewise for motivation, when you don't have a certain goal to achieve, I want to get the job, I want to pass this degree, I want to get this degree. If you don't have such things as a goal in your life, of course, you don't want any motivation. There is no way you can get motivation, right? So that's all for today's lecture. I hope you all enjoyed with this lecture. I believe that we will meet again with some other interesting lectures in the future course of time. Until then, it is bye from Tulasiram. Thank you.